everyone. My name is Kestra Thompson, and I am Leilani's principal. Thank you for joining us today at West Avenue Park Elementary School. We appreciate you virtually joining us for Leilani's IEP meeting. Your daughter is a joy at our school, and we are so excited to share and continue to support her academic endeavors.
Hi, my name is Danielle Gianni, and I am Leilani's special education teacher.
Hi, my name is Madison Anderson, and I'm Leilani's resource specialist.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mara Lewis, and I'm Leilani's speech-language pathologist in the private setting.
Hi, my name is Michaela Connell, and I am Leilani's school speech-language pathologist.
Hey, everybody. My name is Mr. T. I'm Leilani's father. Thank you for having us here today.
Mr. T, I just want to present to you your parental rights, and I'm going to give you this little handout to you, and you can refer back to those as the procedural safeguards. For each child with a disability who requires special education, your public school district and area education agency has the responsibility to provide a free and appropriate public education in the least restricted environment. And jumping into our meeting agenda today, first I will be going over 2 areas of concern in reading and fluency and math, and then our resource specialist will go over goals and recommendations. Then we're going to have our 2 amazing speech pathologists talk about Leilani's present level speech goals, where she's currently at, and where to continue to provide Leilani's services. However, Mr. T, I just want to take a moment and say that Leilani attends well while following instructions and completes tasks in the classroom. She is a huge delight, and I am super grateful to have her as my student. The 2 areas of concern are in reading fluency and math computation. On the first assessment, which is the Woodcock-Johnson 4 Test of Achievement in the Reading Fluency Cluster, Leilani's score landed in the low average range at 89.
Oh, wow, that's not good. Low average. Is that bad? Should I be concerned?
No, sir. What this score means is that Leilani is right below the average score compared to her peers. With the Woodcock-Johnson test, the average range actually falls between 80 and 119. So Leilani is just 1 point away from the average group. I hope this is helpful. If not, I can totally explain more in detail for you.
No, absolutely. I was concerned at first, but this makes a lot more sense. I'm way more in that. I feel a lot better about it.
Fantastic. Our resource specialist will now tell you our annual goal to help build Leilani's score back up.
Okay, so our first goal will pertain to her reading fluency, and it will fall in line with Common Core Standard Literacy RF 1.4. Our first goal is that by May 1st, 2021, Leilani will be able to fluently read a short story composed of 90 words verbally and independently with 80% accuracy on 2 out of 3 consecutive trials. To ensure that our goals are being monitored throughout the year as well as making appropriate progress, please refer to the slides for Leilani's benchmark goals listed in the PowerPoint as well as in her IEP. Do you agree with these goals? What are your opinions on them so far?
90 words seems a bit much. Can we try to drop that 90 to 80?
Yes, the reason behind 90 is that we try to aim as high as possible with our goals because we believe in presuming competence. But if you think this is too much, taking this down to 80 can work well for her too. We value your input and want Leilani to succeed.
Awesome, thank you. Muchly appreciated.
No problem. For mathematics, I'm going to hand it back over to my colleague.
Thank you, Madison. For the second assessment that represents our need for her math goal was also presented through the Woodcock-Johnson Math Calculation Skills Cluster Test. Leilani received a standard score of 77, so she scored in the below average range. So now I'll hand it back over to our resource specialist to explain how we will improve that score.
So her second goal will fall in line with standard 2.0 AB.2. And this goal will be met by May 1st of 2021. And it states that Leilani will be able to calculate 3 different double-digit addition equations using numbers that fall between 1 and 20 independently with 80% accuracy on 2 out of 3 consecutive trials within an 8-minute time interval. As stated earlier, her benchmark goals pertaining to this can be seen on the PowerPoint and listed within her IEP. Do you agree with this goal?
Yes, I think this goal will work well for Leilani.
Great. In terms of recommendations for instruction, services, and accommodation, we recommend that she participate in a small group of instruction of between 3 and 4 students, 3 days a week. Those days will be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We also recommend her small group instruction that she work on 2nd grade level sight words. In terms of her math, we recommend that she participate in small group instruction as well of 3 to 4 students, counting numbers 1 through 20 3 times a week, those days being Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We also recommend that she work on counting those same numbers, 1 through 20. Do you think that this will work well for Leilani?
Yes, this totally seems doable for her.
Wow, awesome. Thank you. I will now transition over to our speech pathologist.
Hi there again. So Leilani was assessed and received early intervention services through myself as her private speech language pathologist. Currently, Leilani is being seen in private therapy for 60 minutes weekly and is very compliant during therapy, and we have noticed improvements in her speech and language skills. Previous goals from Leilani's last IEP include improving inferencing skills from pictures to determined scenarios, as well as increasing comprehension skills. Her previous goals can be seen here. We are happy to report in forming irregular past tense verbs and turn taking, great improvement. And while we noticed some progress for inferencing and predictions, this is still an area of difficulty for Leilani. Now into Leilani's updated evaluation. Assessments were administered in English, as English appears to be her dominant language at this time. The first assessment administered to Leilani is called the Goldman-Bristow Test of Articulation, which essentially just assesses her abilities in articulating consonants. Leilani received a score of 73, which places her below the 85 to 115 average score range and into the 4th percentile for her group. You can see that over here at the end. When compared to same-aged peers, Leilani tends to use more sound change errors with sounds like th and ch, which is the cause of her low moderate score. Additionally, Leilani would not produce the final consonant in various words. This type of error is developmentally inappropriate for her age, as typically developing peers usually stop doing this by 3 years old. Leilani's overall speech intelligibility is measured to be around 80% across multiple contexts. And despite errors in intelligibility, Leilani presents with typical fluency, so stuttering is not a concern at this time. It is critical to note that in regard to Leilani's voice, a visual inspection revealed the presence of her tracheostomy. This causes her to demonstrate abnormalities in vocal pitch, quality, and intensity atypical for both Leilani's age and gender, such as the hoarseness we hear in her voice. In order to assess Leilani's language development, a standardized assessment, the Comprehensive Assessment of Spoken Language, was also administered. Leilani was evaluated in the 5 core subtests targeting comprehension, expression, and word retrieval skills. Overall, Leilani obtained a composite score of 50 on the CASEL, which indicates a severe delay in spoken language abilities. In her English language sample, Leilani also demonstrated a variety of strengths, including her ability to respond to a range of conversational questions without any visual cueing, and using language for a variety of pragmatic functions like turn-taking and joint attention. However, Leilani was noted to have some difficulty in areas of both across speech and language abilities.
Quick question. Should we speak to Leilani in only English at home to help her language skills?
Great question. There is currently no evidence supporting the interference of speaking Spanish at home in Leilani's English language development. Bilingualism has not been found to cause or worsen a language delay, so it is best to speak to Leilani in whatever language you are most fluent and comfortable in. I'm going to hand this over to Leilani's school speech language pathologist to discuss the rest.
Thank you, Mara. So overall, based on the assessments administered by Leilani's private speech language pathologist, both Leilani's speech and language skills are below the expected range for her age level, according to both formal and informal measures. Therefore, it is recommended that Leilani continue to receive speech and language intervention services with me at school. In addition to Leilani's updated speech and language goals that we will go over in just a minute, some strategies that teachers and parents may use in order to help support her speech and language development is to take note whenever Leilani successfully produces her air sounds, such as those listed here. Encourage Leilani to self-correct her speech errors whenever it is appropriate to do so, and encourage Leilani to finish her sentences. With consideration of both Leilani's assessment results and Common Core standards, Leilani's updated speech and language goals are the following. By May 2021, Leilani will make an appropriate comment related to peer discussions regarding content area or grade level objectives at the sentence level with moderate verbal prompting in 4 out of 5 opportunities across 3 consecutive sessions as measured by data collection and clinician observation. 2, by May 2021, Leilani will improve speech intelligibility in unknown contexts by producing all consonants in the final word position at the sentence level in 4 out of 5 opportunities with moderate gestural prompting across 3 consecutive sessions as measured by data collection and clinician observation. And finally, by May 2021, Leilani will speak in complete sentences using correct subject-verb-object format during conversational interactions related to a narrative story with visual supports in 3 out of 5 opportunities across 3 consecutive sessions as measured by data collection and clinician observation. The Common Core standards that were considered when developing these goals are also listed here below. And as Leilani's parent, we greatly value your opinion. So do you have any questions or concerns regarding her updated speech and language goals?
Yes, at one of her previous IEP meetings, one of Leilani's goals was to answer when, where, and how questions, but you didn't report any progress on this, so why aren't we including this as a goal anymore?
That is a great question, thank you. So research has actually shown that understanding correct subject, verb, object, word order in sentences helps children be more efficient in understanding and processing when, where, and how questions. So we want to work on improving that area first before we move on to when, where, and how questions.
Okay, awesome. That makes perfect sense. Thank you so much.
Of course. And if you don't have any further questions, this wraps up our speech and language portion of the IEP. Thank you so much for your time, and I will pass it on to our principal.
Thank you, everyone, for